Hello and welcome to a special edition of SporTView. I'm Jay Wyman along with my co-host today, Steve Hedrick. And today we have a really special guest for you, Brynn Davison, who is going to be on the USA 2024 Junior National D-League team for the Luge. Right, Brynn? Mm-hmm. Welcome. Good to see you.
See you.
Thank you for
Welcome
coming
to the show.
Thank you for coming in, SportView. So here you are. We're up here in Massachusetts, and we're talking about the Luge team. How did you happen to get interested in that?
So my mom found this slider search on Facebook, and from there you just move up the rank to the team I'm on today.
Okay, so you started. And what did you have to do to qualify?
You just have to impress them and know how you slide and know how to steer and stuff.
Okay.
So do you do test runs or training runs?
At Lake Placid, or
No, to get onto the team.
So they start you on a sled with rollerblades on it and rollerblade wheels, and you go down a concrete hill, and then you just keep moving up each time.
And so the hill itself keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then you. Wow, and you're also a hockey player too, right?
Yeah.
You and your brother both play hockey. So is that what kind of got you interested in Luge?
Yeah, and I watched it on the Olympics, and it was just really cool to see people going by really fast.
Uh-huh. You like the speed part of it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now is there a single luge and a double luge, or is it just one person on a sled?
There's singles and doubles, but the type I do is just singles, one person on the sled going down.
Okay.
And you just got back this week, yesterday from camp. Tell us a little bit about the camp. What types of things do they do there?
This camp, since it was in the summer, the ice on the track, there wasn't any ice. So we just trained and worked on our starting position, and yeah.
So you lie down on this, right? You lie down on the Luge, and you get a push. You're kind of a shove. Somebody shove you. How does that work?
So the type we do, we start ourselves. So there's two handles on the side, and we're just trying to pull off as fast as we can from the handles, and then we paddle, get in the sled, and we're off.
Oh, do you get a running start?
No, we're just sitting there. The handles are here, and you pull yourself.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Paddle.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, very interesting. Where did you have when you qualified, or when you were qualifying for the state? Where did they do that?
The closest one to me was in Medway, and it was at an elementary school.
At the Medway Elementary School. Oh, no kidding.
I remember reading they had a tryout in Ashland on Main Street,
Yeah.
using that hill, Main Street Hill, and it was an area tryout.
Yeah, they call that Holliston Hill in Ashland and Main Street. I don't know if you know the hill we're talking about. It goes way down into Ashland, big steep hill, and I know that they had done some there with the rollers, the rollerblade wheels and stuff like that. So that's interesting. Now you've done the real luge on ice and everything. Do you know how fast you've gone?
The first one, we started from the lower starts on the actual track. There's 5 starts. 1 is the highest, 5 is the lowest. So after the slider search, I got invited to a screening camp, and we started from start 5. I think we went around 35 miles an hour.
Ooh.
And then that's the slowest you can go. So this season, we're going to go probably around 45 to even 60 miles an hour.
Are you kidding? Really?
Wow.
Jeez. It's not scary at all?
No.
No, you love it, huh?
Yeah.
That is awesome. And obviously you have the helmet on and everything. What other gear do you wear?
So we have shoes that are pointed. So normal shoes that you have on are meant for your feet to be flat on the ground. But these shoes are designed so the position of your feet is pointing straight on. So it's more aerodynamic than normal shoes.
Is your foot bent?
Yeah, just straight.
Wow. How's that work out? That kind of hard to do?
You have to get used to it, but it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going down the track, is it just a straight track, or do you have to turn?
There are a lot of turns in our track. There's probably about, I want to say 20 from all the way up top.
Really?
Yeah. But
And how do you turn?
There's a bunch of ways of turning. You can have your chin to your shoulder for like a light turn, and then there's handles in the sled, which you can pull those for like a medium turn. And if you want a really big turn, then you can use the two like candy cane shaped things called kuffins at the end and push them the way you want to go.
So these handles, are they working brakes on the
There's
sled?
no brakes on the sled.
No brakes?
No brakes.
Yikes. I don't even get in a car with no brakes. That is awesome. That is awesome. What's the most fun part of it for you?
Probably the most fun part is realizing that you're going as fast as, if not faster, than a car. So realizing that is pretty fun, but overall just like the speed going down the hill.
Do you know how long it takes you normally to go down? Like if you went down the hill you're going to be competing on for the championships, the national championships, do you go down, is it a major hill, a really big hill with a lot of turns? And
So the hill we go down is the Olympic bobsled trail.
oh, wow. Because you're right in Lake Placid. You're doing
Yeah.
this, by the way, this is being done in Lake Placid, right? So, yeah. And have you been up to Lake Placid?
Yeah, so I went up, I just came back from training camp, and we didn't go down the track at all, but after the slider search, I got invited to a camp that they did, the screening camp, and we went down the track a couple times.
How was
So
that?
It was amazing.
Isn't it pretty cool to know that that's where the World Olympics and everything are? Are you, by the way, do you compete just against the U.S. kids, or are you competing against everybody in the world?
So the one I do, it's only with the U.S. kids, but as you move up, like probably the junior national team, they compete all over the world.
Is that something you think you'd like to do?
Yeah.
You know, we talked a little bit before before we started the interview, and I asked you about what you think you want to do. Tell me what you said you want to do.
I want to try to make it to the Olympics.
That's it. You want to be an Olympic, just in the luge?
Yeah.
How now? The luge and the bobsled, are they kind of related? Would you? Is that something you do together? The same person do both of those?
I think you could, but the steering and everything, it's pretty different.
Oh, it is quite different. Yeah, and of course with the bobsled you have a team.
Yeah, bobsled, you have a team. You can have up to 2 people on a luge sled, but still,
Have you ever done that?
I've never done doubles, no.
You interested in doing it at all?
I'll try it, yeah.
Sounds like you try anything.
If that's the way you make the Olympic team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how old do you have to be to make the Olympic team? What is the average, I guess, for you, high school kids or college kids? Or
There are some high school, I think you probably have to be around 20, I'm guessing. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, probably in college.
probably, yeah.
That's really cool.
So-
Speaking of that, do colleges have teams, do you know?
No college does luge as a sport, so it's pretty hard to actually get in.
Wow.
So you, in order to be involved in the luge, you're really traveling to areas a lot, right? Because it's not like it's right here, somewhere in the Metro West area, So you do a lot of traveling during the year, or
So we're not really traveling. The only place we're traveling to is Lake Placid to train and to have the Empire Games there. And then we're going to Utah, which is the only New York, Lake Placid, and Utah are the only 2 Olympic luge and bobsled and skeleton courses in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
and when you go, these are like qualification runs that you're doing, where they're evaluating you and you move up on the ladder in the program, the national program.
I'm not sure how it works. I've never done a race yet, but I'm guessing if you place really well, first place, I'm guessing they would move you up.
Okay.
That's how it works. So there has a different levels. They would go up to the A level, and those would be the top class. Is that something that obviously you want to be in the Olympics, so you want to be able to do that. How long would it take to do something like that? Do you go like bump up once a year, or do they just bump you up depending on how well you're doing?
They bump you up depending on how well you're doing, and there's no like, there's some age requirements, like, but one girl that I practice with, she's, I think, 10, and this is her second year doing it, so she could get moved up to the C team, which is just a higher, like, better team. Not better, but just like higher skill team.
In your team, is it the ages of 10 to 16?
It's doesn't really, the ages don't really have anything to do with it, but the ages are probably around 10 to like 14, I want to say.
And are you 13 now?
Yeah.
You're 13 now. So then next year, when you get to be 14 or 15, whatever then they bump you up to the next level of age bracket level, I'm guessing. Right?
They don't really bump you up on age. It's basically on skill. Like there's one girl, she's 14, I want to say, or 15. There are two 15-year-olds, and they're still on the D team. So age doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So the luge is kind of a real small niche, that schools don't have luge teams, and so it's a very small group of people that do this. So when you go to these training camps or these competitions, you're now with other people that like what you like. Okay, so are you friendly with them, or is it, well, I'm not going to be friendly with them because they're my competition and they're in my way to move up the ladder? How do you look at all these people?
So everyone's sort of like friends with each other, and like the competitions, we're trying to do the best out of everyone, but if we don't make it and someone else makes it, we're like, great job. Like.
So it's kind of like track where you have a personal best type thing, and when you're going down there and everyone cheers as you break your foot. That's really cool. That's awesome. That's great. Now you're a hockey player. That takes a lot of time. How much time do you have to do you have to be available to practice the luge?
We probably go up once a month for like a week, I want to say.
Oh, really? Wow. And you go there, and is that all in Lake Placid?
Yeah.
How far up is that up in New York?
For me, it's like a 4.5-hour drive.
Yeah. How's that drive? Yeah.
It's,
She's asleep the whole time.
If you were driving the luge, you'd get there faster, probably, right?
Maybe, yeah.
And how's the hockey going?
it's good.
Is it? Yeah. Do you like hockey? I mean, that's one of the things, especially for girls. I know that that's a tremendous way to get scholarships in college too. So, what position do you play in hockey?
Center.
Center. Okay. You fast hockey? You fast skater too? Yeah.
What are some of your favorite memories going through this whole luge process?
Probably my first run that like I didn't hit any walls, because when you hit a wall, it kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Because you're just crashing. You like, it's not really a term, but we use this term called ping-ponging, where you're a human ping pong against the track, ping-ponging everywhere.
Is that because the track is kind of a U-shaped and you're going against the walls that way?
Not really because of that. It's basically how you leave a turn. You can either leave early, middle, or late. And so if you're supposed to enter late and you enter like early or middle, then that can set you up wrong for like a straightaway, and you could just ping pong everywhere.
Wow. It's 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah.
of control.
It does really sound like fun. It really does. It really does.
So, because you're doing all this traveling, do you have to do fundraising for the Junior Olympics or the national team, or how does all that work?
We're thinking about setting up a fundraising page for me for all the like fees for Luge and all the equipment.
It's got to be really expensive. That's another question. Do you have your own sled?
We don't have our own sleds. We use the one that USA Luge already owns, but we just get fit to a sled, and then we use it for as long as we actually fit on the sled. And then when we don't fit on it anymore, we get a new sled that fits us.
That they give you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
We
it all has to be watched over by them, right? All the sleds and everything. Yeah, that would make sense. Makes sense.
Now, are these sleds really heavy, or, you know, are they very light, or, you know, for speed? I don't know. Does a light sled go faster, or does a heavy sled go faster?
We learned in science that a heavy
There you go.
object goes faster.
Not kid. That's right. It probably
That's
would.
what I would think.
Yeah, it probably would get down faster. And there's, I would think maybe a heavier sled might give you a little better feeling of security, maybe.
A little stability.
Yeah. Unless you're ping-ponging down those things. That's really interesting to me, the ping-ponging thing, you know. As long as it's not a wall to stop you at the end. There's none of that, right? I mean,
No.
you just keep going.
Yeah.
How do you stop? Do you stop? Do you go uphill? Does it go uphill?
There's a pretty steep uphill. It's probably like this steep, and if you don't stop on that, then there's like no end to it. There's not like a wall at the end. So no one's ever done it, but if somehow you go past it, you just keep going.
Keep going. And then when you go up, do you come back down?
Not really. There's a track team with like spikes on their shoes, so they run on the track.
Oh, they get you.
Yeah, they put their foot behind your sled so you can get off, and then you have to walk on the ice.
Now,
get off.
do you guys have to train to do that too? Do you have to be able to do that part of? No.
Not really. There's like sort of a railing that we can grab onto at the end, but.
What types of physical things do you have to do to train? I mean, as far as you have to lift weights, you have to run. What types of things? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, so it is a really physical sport that people don't really notice. Like, our neck has to be really strong because the helmet is pretty heavy, but you're going so fast that like all the pressure is like leaning your head and your neck back. So you have to turn your neck. We were lifting weights and like running a lot out there just to improve like all our muscle going down the track.
Is that something you do? Do you lift weights all the time here when you're at home?
No.
No. They just get you prepped up there, and in that way they teach how to do it the right way. Is that the idea? Wow, that's unbelievable.
Do you do a lot of running
Yeah,
for the legs? You know, or do you go out running the neighborhood and stuff
Yeah, I
like
do that, yeah.
Yeah. And you would have to do that for hockey too, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you skate a lot all through the summer?
I'm on a summer team now with the high school, so yeah.
You can't go up to the varsity, can you? I mean, can you play up to like the JVs or something as an 8th grader here in Holliston? Do you know?
Probably could, but there's only like, I'm pretty sure there's only one varsity team. Like, I don't think there's a.
Oh, they don't have a JV.
I don't think so.
That would make sense, yeah, because they don't have enough girls to go around. That's interesting. But then you have to take a week off every month to
Yeah.
go practice. Is that going to be an issue with hockey?
Probably, but I think I could go farther in Luge, so.
Yeah. Plus, if you're really good in hockey, they'll let you get away with it. Thank you, Brynn, for coming. Thank you
you.
so much.
Nice to have you.
You too.
Brynn Davison here, and for Steve and myself, thank you for joining us, and have a good day.